Okay, so it's been about a week since Yeat dropped his latest album, 2093, and to say there have been mixed reactions would be an understatement. His diehard fans are saying, yo, this is super hard. Most regular fans are quite indifferent to what he just dropped, and some people are just hating on it and saying it's trash, it's not that great. What happened to Yeat? What happened to the man that made Afterlife? What happened to the man that made Sorry About That? What happened to him? Well, he grew. It's been 2 years. And I actually find whole reception to Yeat super interesting. And I'm going to go over what I think of the album. Did it do well in my opinion? Could it have done better? And all of those things you want to hear in this video. So let's start off with the fans and my initial reaction to this album. When it dropped, of course, when any one of these like hype artists drop, the glazers immediately start just glazing the album. But for a change this time, a lot of people were just off the jump not messing with it. And it wasn't like Whole Lotta Red where they're saying whole lot of trash or anything, but they were just saying this new style just isn't it. And you could kind of understand why. This entire album is kind of like a Blade Runner concept theme album. There are a couple songs in it like Stand On It with Future and a couple more. Maybe you could say like Never Quit. I don't know, just a couple more just to name some stuff that might resemble the old Yeat, but the amount of growth in this album is insane. The production is completely different, and it's just not something, if you heard this today, 2 years from Yeat, you'd be like, dang, what? Like, that's him? But that doesn't mean the music was bad, to be honest. I heard Breathe, I was like, dang, this song is hard. That was actually the first song I liked, because I'm one of those ADHD people who like will listen to an album, and then there'll be one really catchy song, and I'll just keep listening to that song, and then when I get bored of that one, I'll keep moving on, and that's kind of why it took so long to make this review, because I just can't listen to an album front to back. Sorry, my dopamine receptors are fried. And that song got like a little challenge on TikTok. There was this video with him and Zach Bia, and it kind of went crazy. And I liked some of the songs, like Stand On It. It's kind of like basic for each song. I really hated the Future feature on that. I thought it was trash for Future. Like Future could have done way better. There's a song with Lil Wayne that was cool. He later dropped a song with Drake. There were some cool songs in there. Never Quit is cool. Power Trip is cool too. Keep It Pushing, I like that one. 2093 was cool. But it just wasn't like the other Yeat albums where every song was just, I wouldn't say a hit, but it was just that catchy Yeat song. Like you listen to Afterlife, you listen to Life, like especially Afterlife. Like that album is just filled with just like songs that can, really go. And something you'll notice with Yeat's albums is his earlier albums, it was almost like every song had replay value. His newer albums, or as he progresses, his albums have more and more songs that contribute to the concept of the album rather than just a song that's just there to be replayed, which I respect, but also as a fan, it's like, come on, just give us the heart, you know what I mean? But I respect it. It's cool. Like, you listen to 4L, Alive, Trendy, all the way up to Me, to Alive. Those albums, every single song just hit. There was really no denying it, and that's why so many would just go viral on TikTok back to back to back to back. But that was kind of like the initial reaction. After that, I'd say it soured even more. People are like, dang, this really isn't it. And right after that, I think it swung up a little bit, However, there were a couple flaws Yeat made, and one of them isn't really his fault. The first one being that UMG has literally banned any of the artists from being put on TikTok, which is kind of like Yeat ran TikTok. I'm not gonna lie, like if there was a Yeat song that dropped or leaked, it would just go trending on TikTok. Another thing is, because this sound was so experimental, even for Yeat, which I think is good because he kind of blew up being experimental, it would be kind of counterintuitive and ironic if he just did the same thing over and over again. But I think it's good for him that he changed. But it just never was going to work out very well sales-wise, Like, I don't think anyone thought this album would do 200K or something like that crazy. However, after looking at the sales, I was a bit disappointed because I honestly thought Yeat had what it took to sell 100K. He really did. It's just that this album was not a 100K first week sales album. It might go down as one of Yeat's better albums, or this album might go down as a great album, but just the type of sound is not catered to the first week sales kind of like bot, oh my god, we need all hits that are all, and I'm not hating on anyone, it's not like that. On top of that, I'm going to share 2 posts from Hello Yassine. The first one was a week ago, so it was right when the album was announced, and it said, Yeat's 2093 is now aiming for number 3 on Billboard. Its first week is projected to sell 60K units. He outsold us, by the way. And Kanye West is supposed to remain number 1. Everyone was saying Yeat's album was way better. Oh my god, no way Kanye's about to beat him. And then 2 days later, they said Yeat's 2093 to go number 1 with 72.6K units first week, and Vultures is now number 2 with 72.4K first week, and the script completely flipped, and everyone was like, hey, he cheated. He practically dropped 4 albums. And basically what he did was he dropped 3 deluxes and had a Drake feature. And I'm not gonna lie, the amount of like little gimmicks he did to have sales was good. You know, it's good for sales. At the end of the day, like having a #1 album is really good. It's just like an accolade that you can just list in your career. Like he had this many #1s. Whoa, cool. You know, just like a statistic. Except these projections were wrong. They were incorrect. Yeat actually did not outsell Kanye West. Vultures remained #1, and he missed it by like a K or 2K, which I'm not gonna lie, you drop 3 deluxes, a Drake feature, you wait for a year, you promote your album, you do everything right, and Kanye West independently dropping. I'm not gonna lie, if it was a normal Kanye label drop, he would have blown Yeat out of the water. But since this was like a regular Kanye, I'm gonna say regular, independent drop, his sales were a bit down. You know, Kanye doesn't care about the day he releases albums, etc. You know, he still beat Yeat. Like, wow, you know? And I would say sales-wise, it's disappointing, you know? And one thing about sales is, you know, everyone always says, first week sales don't matter, guys. First week sales don't matter, right, guys. You know what? They really don't if you're a fan of the artist. However, it's a great indicator to how much people are interested in Yeat. And what this album drop or these sales showed me was that a lot of people were interested in what he had to offer, or just to see what he had to offer, but they weren't interested once they listened as much. Because if they were, he would have sold 100K easily with the length of the album and how many deluxe and how many like little tricks were in his bag. He was ready. You know, 24 tracks, that's a long album. I don't know if you remember this. People used to hate on the Migos for having 20 plus song albums because they're like, wow, you're just packing songs for sales. You know, no one would ever say this to Yeat because it's very clear that he put a lot of time and effort into it. But you get what I'm saying. Okay. So overall, I don't really think this was a flop. You can't call 70K going #2 head-to-head with Kanye a flop. It was definitely a weak first week sales for rap, you know. Sometimes they're higher, like 100-something K. Sometimes they're lower, you know. Yeat missed it by just a little, and I'm sure he's disappointed. Like, you know, man, he almost got it, and they pulled so many, you know, little tricks up their sleeve. Also, if you think about it, Yeat is like close with Drake, and Drake and Kanye aren't cool, so he gets he's Team Drake or whatever. It's like, dang, they lost. And, you know, it's like, oh, you know, it is what it is. But it just... I will say this though, as a fan, at first I wasn't super tuned into the album. I was like, this is alright. I listened to Psycho CEO. It was cool. Power Trip, it got stuck in my head recently. Breathe, that's like one of those songs that's in like on repeat right now. I'm not gonna lie, even though it's like one of those basic songs. Never Quit, I really like that one. Stand on It a little bit. Psycho Kane, You Should Know, that one's also good. But other than that, there aren't too many songs of Yeat on this album that I'm just gonna keep replaying. I think that's it. I might have ran through all like the most replayable songs on this. Okay, I Love Is Also Fire. I Love Is Also Fire. My friend just pointed it out to me. Yeah, it's pretty fire. But in general, like, he could have done better, both commercially, and I'm not gonna say artistically because it was his choice. Like, I think no one is gonna try and argue that he can't make songs that are catchy. It didn't fulfill his full potential. You know what I mean? He could have done better. It's just, you know, I'm just saying how it is. And this whole TikTok UMG ban is not going to help him. What I am interested in is, where will Yeat go from here? Because now he's just, I think his last album, how much did Afterlife sell? Afterlife sold 54K. Since that full year, Yeat has gained so many fans, so much more attention. His songs have racked up so many streams. Getting 16,000 as a bonus after such a long wait is not that impressive. So now we have to see in 6 months to a year, whenever he drops next, what's next for him. Because now he's in that limbo stage where, okay, you're no longer underground. You know, he's not a mixtape rapper anymore. He's gonna constantly keep dropping songs. Now he's gotta deliver, you know, and he cannot flop this next time. If he drops an album like 2093 again, it's not gonna go well for him. So that's all I'm gonna say. Overall, you know, let's just give it a rating since this is technically an album rating album. For Yeat, I'm gonna give it a 6.9 out of 10. Okay, I like the album. I just think as a whole, you know, if you are gonna take the artistic approach, I need to be able to hear an album or listen to an album front to back without skipping it. The fact that it's 24 tracks already kind of makes that kind of tough, I'll be honest. But I still don't think they like mesh together as an album like that. They do have a consistent theme, which I like, you know. The album was just not the greatest Yeat album. I just think he could do better. That's just the raw truth, I believe. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow. I know I haven't had videos on this channel for a while. There was some stuff that went on. Couldn't really control it, but I'm back now and I'm ready to cover these videos daily once again. Thank you for watching till the end. Bye.